Hey guys, there's two versions of this video, short form and long form. You've clicked on the long form video. If you'd like to see the short form, click here. The only difference is one has a lot more content, is a lot more in depth, and one is a highlight reel. Thanks for watching. Okay guys, we got another one today. We're in the city or outside of the city, fair distance from home. We've got our 5500 here and we're working on a loader bucket. 724K John Deere front end loader. And complaint is bucket is loose and I saw a crack. So yeah, bucket's very loose. Definitely need to fix that. It broke a little while ago. It's ovalized. Look like that one's round. That one's not. So yeah, we're gonna heat it up and get this back to where it should be and run off tabs on either side and gouge it out, weld it. This won't be round. It needs to be line bored. They want it functional, not perfect. There's talks of maybe replacing the bucket at the end of the season. I'm going to talk to the owners and stuff. I just talked to the operator now. But basically what we're going to focus on today is there's some cracks that trace out here in the liner. Those are not that important, but they're underneath this dirt. There's long ones on the inside. It's more of like just the bucket's getting thin as usual. Heels are worn out, but yeah, we're gonna get this fixed. We're gonna get these gouged out and fixed. This is like over 2-inch plate, so, or I guess it's actually like 1.5 inches plus some pieces that have been added in there to try and stop stuff from this happening. And, yeah, it's been welded lots. Somebody else has done it, kind of thing. This is not original. These are not original. All that. So bucket's got to be 20 years old. So anyways, let's gouge these out. This will take a ton of time and we'll heat this up, bend this back down, weld it. So yeah, we'll get some tools set up and come grab you guys. Okay guys, so got most of our gouging done, I think. I opened up this, got this kind of curled back, opened this up. I still got to do some grinding, so don't judge me. But yeah, it's gouged down there. I went a little too heavy on the end, got a little away from me, but we'll fill that back in. But yeah, so I got it gouged down to right to the base there. I still gotta grind a little bit right there and stuff, but yeah, just shoot myself all the way across there. It's I ended up taking a gouge down straight, but I realized I wouldn't be able to get my electrode in there very well, so I just took a torch and just kind of cut a little bit of a bevel, so I had a little bit of room. I'm gonna have to fill it back in, but at least then I can get a weld in there. I'm thinking I'll run the first few passes across here, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do as far as keeping it from falling out of the sides. Maybe put a piece of angle iron on the side or flat bar. I might be able to just do it without it. I don't know. We'll try it and see. I'm probably gonna have to build this up just a little bit, and this one just up a little bit too as well. That's like your backstop. That's where the loader hits down there. You can see those worn out spots. So yeah, let's do some welding, I guess. I'm gonna run 7018 at first, see how that goes. Might switch over to some dual shield, but I'd like to run my first few passes with 7018 to boil quite a bit anyways, especially on these edges where this is getting into the bucket on the other side, so there's a lot of years of stuff getting pounded in there, kind of thing. I grind it and gouge it and everything, but still seem to kind of boil to the surface for the first little bit, you know. So yeah, let's do some welding. the left side done. Just got all the way down there, cleaned it out, started stick welding, and it's a little slow. Yeah, I wasn't able to get my flux core nozzle down in there, so I took one and just kind of flattened it and stuck it down in there. I put a little bit of electrical tape on the very tip of it, because when you flatten it you lose the insulation. Like this part there inside there broke, but yeah, just tried to kind of weave my way through without touching. So I'm high up enough now that I can go back to the regular nozzle, but yeah, just welded it all the way across it. I stick welded it all first, and then, not all of it, but like all across here, and then the root, and then I just filled it up with this, and then I just two big weaves on either side. This doesn't interfere with the coupler at all, so I'm not going to grind it or anything. I still might add a little bit of something on top of here just to build this up, but yeah, I'm just going to keep going on this one here. We got this welded. I'll probably put a little bit of a grind on this one here. I already cleaned the faces of the bores up, so I'll just do that again. I welded the inside of here too as well, so I'm probably going to take a little grinder and just try and clean that up the best I can. They need to be bored. They're egg shaped, but it's not happening today. I'll propose it for the future. They might replace the bucket, then we might take it and do a rebuild on it. I don't know. I'll find out, I guess, if you see it again. But yeah, I'm just going to keep filling this one up here, and we should be in a good position here shortly to flip it over and work on the inside. Okay, this side's pretty well done. I managed to get that bore ground down again. I think it should be fine. I think it's actually a little bit bigger than the original one was because of how egged it is. Bigger in one direction at least. I don't use these very often, but there's candy to have today as a grinder plug for an angle grinder there, so you can fit inside the diameter of a bore. They sell them in different sizes. I don't know if it's called grinder plug or stone plug or I don't know, something like that, but yeah, fits on the end of an angle grinder, so you can get inside of circles and do round things. Got pretty much all ground up and welded and everything, and should be okay. Oh, that's really freaking hot. Should be okay for now. Let's get them going again. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do cleanup because this is pretty bad, and yeah, do a cleanup, and maybe we'll get the truck away. And these guys left a while ago. I don't know if they left the keys for this, or I have a key ring set. See if I can get this thing to start. Flip this thing over. It's a little heavy. Won't be too heavy for my Kenworth when I'm fully moved into that, but not yet. So yeah, I'm gonna do some cleanup and just leave the bare essentials back out again. And yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, we're back. We're inside the bucket now. We've got to do you can see where it's pretty brown right there. That's where we burned in pretty good. We're just gonna clean this up a little bit and just weld over the back gouged areas, basically. Alright, so we're in the bucket here and we cleaned it out, and we've just hit it with a wire wheel. And so this is the back side of where we welded. The really red spots are the spots that got really hot from where we welded before. But if you look over there, the cracks moved a lot. It goes all the way over to there and all the way over there. So I'm going to have to get the gouger back out again and just open these up. I initially thought we were going to get away with just hitting this with a cutoff disc and welding it, but unfortunately it's done some damage over there. So we'll add some more weld to the already welded areas and keep them going for a little bit longer. So a little side note, you guys, if you know me, I like to buy cheap things on Amazon, and if I don't like them I send them back. So I bought this super Chinese arc air gouger. As you can tell, I don't have big hands. It's not very big compared to your standard K4000 arc air torch. It's got a very light spring in it. It's easy to open. I wouldn't stick a, I was using 3/8 earlier, but I wouldn't stick a 1/2 inch carbon in it. It says it's good for 600 amps. Definitely not. But I'm using 3/16 carbons, and it works awesome. Can't say the longevity of it all, but it was like $62. I paid like $500 for my other one. So, you know, good backup, it's cheap. Would suggest so far. But if I find a reason not to, I'll come back and tell you otherwise. Okay, I think we're done, folks. Still gotta wrap up all my tools, but yeah, we got our welds back there, we got our welds back there. I tried to use flux cord, but there's quite a bit of water between the skin and the mount. It's shooting out at me, steam and all that kind of stuff. Flux cord doesn't like that very much. It's 7018 will handle it. So yeah, two fairly small welds there. Put all this stuff away. I think that's it for this one, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Do the comments. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. If you've subscribed, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, consider it. It's it doesn't cost you anything. Just cool to see you again. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.